Okay, so this morning we're in Albir. It's a lovely place, Albir, well worth a visit. And we're at Champion's Sports Bar. Sports Pub, not Sports Bar.
Just
Sports.
Champion's Pub,
Champion's Pub, okay. I've just been put right, Champion's Pub. And I'd like you to meet the owner, and I'd like you to introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Alison. I own Champions Albir with my husband Keith.
And you've also got another bar or another cafe as well.
Yes, we have. We have another cafe at the other end of the village near Albir Gardens Hotel.
Okay.
Good location.
Yeah, it is a good location. Yeah. So let's start from the beginning. How did all this happen?
In a roundabout way, we retired in the UK a couple of years ago and decided that we were going to make the move to Spain. And after 12 months of doing very little, we decided to get a bar. Right. So we had a good look on the internet and reviewed quite a few and decided that this was the place. And the story of this place, Keith and I came here 10 years ago, and this was the first bar that we came to in Albir. So when we saw that it was available, we came and viewed it and signed straight away.
All right. So quite a big, quick decision.
Yeah, it was a quick decision. We've both been in business for quite a long time back in the UK, so we needed something to occupy us.
And was it the same sort of business?
No. When we left the UK, we were both running a property development company.
Oh, right.
I was very much the admin and working in the office, and Keith was out working in the properties. And before that, I was a beauty therapist. So it's very different. Keith has managed a bar before,
yeah.
But neither of us have ever owned a bar pub.
So totally all new.
Yeah, all new, but a challenge, and that's what we both look for. I think it was the challenge of getting something to do.
Yeah, and I suppose after a year of doing nothing,
yeah,
you were full of enthusiasm.
Exactly. We just needed something to occupy our time.
Yeah.
Occupy our minds.
Yeah.
We had that time off to relax, enjoy Spain, but then it was that we had to do something.
Yeah. You couldn't think of just being retired and that was it.
No, not
that. Just wasn't in your DNA.
No. Well, we left the UK. I was 47, so retiring at 47, yeah, it sounds lovely.
Yeah.
But when you've been in business and your mind's been occupied for that amount of time,
yeah,
it really was something we had to do something.
Yeah. Well, I did it at 58, and I thought that was quite young.
Yeah.
So
I was about the same as well. My husband was 56, I think, when we came over here. So we then sort of decided. Well, I was hoping for a quiet life, but he just wanted to build and build.
Yeah.
So it didn't. We didn't actually retire as such, but we
got
had to
two
weather.
knackered knees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we both looked at what we'd previously done. So Keith sort of said he could get back on the tools, become a handyman, just as a help to people. I thought maybe about going back into a beauty salon. But then I think it is big business. But I think we've both decided on let's do something different that we'll both be able to work together and sort of throw ourselves into. So that was the plan. And we've had the pub now open since November last year, and the cafe bar has been open for 2 months. And we're changing and developing them all the time. Whether it's the menu changing or drinks that we sell, or at the cafe bar we're just about to start darts tournaments. There's lots of we're sort of going with the flow at the moment.
Yeah.
To find our feet with them and see where we want to go with the
See
businesses.
what people want.
Yeah, exactly.
And are you catering for the Brits, or is it just everyone?
International. It really is international. Yes, okay, we have our all-day breakfast, which is
Yeah.
the classic.
Everyone likes an all-day
English
breakfast.
breakfast,
Yeah.
your fryer. But it is. We found that our customers are international. We have Spanish, Norwegian, French,
There's a lot of Dutch here, isn't
Belgian,
there?
Dutch. Yeah. So we have a big clientele, really.
Yeah.
And every nationality comes through the door,
Yeah.
which we love.
Yeah.
You know.
So you had no qualms, worries, or anything like that to go into a totally new business that neither of you really knew a great deal about. I know you said Keith worked as a manager, but when you own something, there's a lot more going on, isn't there?
Yeah, I think so. But I think we've got the basics of running the business.
Yeah.
Every business runs as long as you have the stock, you have the staff, you have, financially stable.
Yeah.
You've got to look at all the factors. It doesn't matter what business it is. We could have bought a shop. I could have opened another beauty salon. They all run exactly the same way. But it was a challenge. And
How difficult was the actual process of getting the businesses here in Spain?
quite simple, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's a little bit more technical than with the UK. In the UK, you can say, right, I'm going to do such and such. Go to an accountant. Just do it yourself.
Yeah.
Set yourself up on HMRC. Get yourself a bank account, and off you go. Here, you have to be. We've set up an SL, so a limited company.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was a little bit of time. You have to have your lawyers involved and your accountant, and we had some great help along the way. So that initial first month we had the pub, we were actually setting everything up in the background. We had the pub for a month before it actually opened. So it was making sure the paperwork was all in the right place and we had everything signed up, licenses, everything was all sorted out. Everything takes time in Spain. The whole mañana thing everyone jokes about really is
true
true.
life.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as long as you know where to go with, experienced, knowledgeable people, as long as you're going to the right places, they can get things done for you quite quickly.
Yeah.
But obviously setting up an SL, setting up the bank accounts, we're very fortunate that we found the right people to do it for us. I know other people have done it and it's taken a lot longer. So, I will say we are very lucky. But yeah, it's a much longer process setting things up in Spain than it is in the UK.
And I think because of Brexit now, it's changed even more. So
Yeah.
what would you advise people that want to maybe come out here to start a business? What would your first thoughts be for them?
Firstly, you really have to look at the visas, because generally what the immigration lawyers are advising is come out on a non-lucrative visa, so you're not doing anything, you can't work anywhere. You can take dividends from a limited company or rental properties, you can take income, but if you come out on a non-lucrative, then when you renew your non-lucrative visa, then change to self-employed, and that is the advice we were given and taken. It seems quite a long process, but it's the easiest way to set it up. You could come out and buy a bar or a business and not physically work in it and have staff, and you don't have to work, and you can benefit financially. If you want to work, you have to then change it to a self-employment, which is a little bit drawn out. Not, as I say, not like the UK. You do have to have a very solid business plan, but it's employing the right people to actually be able to do it for you.
Yeah, and like you said, it's getting the right people's advice, the lawyer, the accountant,
Yeah.
the people that do this all the time.
Yeah.
Not just someone on Facebook,
Yes.
which too many people
Yeah.
listen to.
Yeah.
Meeting someone in a bar
Yes. Yeah.
and getting advice from
Yeah.
them, because that's
Yeah.
what's happened a lot in the past.
Yeah. I quite often get people coming in and saying, "Oh, so how did you do it? Who did you speak to?" And I will pass on the solicitors we used in the UK to start the processes for us, just for people who are asking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is shop around, find some.
You need to do your home. Basically, you
Exactly.
need to do your homework
Exactly.
thoroughly
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
you even entertain
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand that.
You do.
No, I think that's one of the most important things to do before you do anything. I think you've got to look at that.
But you hear
you
so
know.
many stories of people moving to Spain and think, "Yep, I'm going to open a bar," and they fall foul of licensing laws, they fall foul of tenancy agreements if there's any in place, and then that gives Spain a bad name.
Yeah.
Because of these people that haven't done their homework.
Yeah. And it's the financial side of it. People, and I know this is some people are going to go, what? But coming out to Spain and opening a business and thinking you're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Especially straight away as well.
Yeah.
You're making anything.
Yeah. You with the employment side of it in Spain is very different to the UK.
Yeah. Very expensive.
Whereas you're paying in the UK, you get your top pay and your tax and national insurance is taken out of it. In Spain, you're paid your top pay and your social security is paid on top of that. So as a business, you're paying out for the staff, you're paying out on top of their wage, you're paying social security, education allowance,
sickness benefits.
Yeah, sickness benefits, all on top of their wage. And it's all of these little things that if you don't look into it beforehand, that you will fall foul of. You've got, as well as, obviously we've got music playing here, you have, just like the UK, music licensing. Even just for ambient music, we have to have a license. We show sports here. All of our TVs have sports, but we have to have a license through La Liga, or there's other people that use it like Bar TV, Movie Star, but it all comes under the same umbrella. And that can be €400 a month just to be able to show sport.
Put the TV on, yeah.
Like at the moment, every restaurant and every bar in Albir has got a television to show the Euros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are now coming out inspecting. So it's, you've just got to be careful. We were inspected back in November last year. They came out, we had our up-to-date invoices, they saw them, thank you very much, tick the box, we're fine. But there's a lot of places that don't understand the licensing laws and they will get fined €6,000 for showing sport.
Wow.
And it,
And you'll continue to do the Premiership when it starts
yes,
next
exactly.
month.
Yeah, we show Championship, Premiership.
Yeah.
We've got the Euros. We show in Wimbledon. We show the Formula One.
Yeah.
Any sport, we will try and accommodate. We had a couple of lads in one night who wanted to watch their home team that was showing on a certain channel, and we spent ages scrolling through channels, and we found it.
Oh, great.
And they gave us a fantastic review because we did go, overwatch on search through all these channels on the TVs just to find the match they were looking for.
Yeah.
We will try and accommodate everybody.
But then by you doing that, they're going to go back and say, "Oh, that pub was brilliant." They search through to try and find our local team.
Exactly.
And, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is a great review. That's a great review to have when you've done that.
Yeah.
Because it takes time.
Yeah.
Your time. You're busy.
Yeah.
So and in regards to staff, you have to keep your staff at a low level and do a lot more yourself because of the costs involved in deploying.
To be honest, we don't do an awful lot. I think because of initially, as I said, with the non-lucrative side of the visa and then changing to self-employed, I think we got used to just being in the background and doing a lot of the things at home. We don't we're not here 24/7, although it seems like it sometimes. We're not here. The staff open up, the staff close up. If they need anything, we get a message. You know, we are fortunate in that way that we have to think about everything and the accounts and all of the background things.
Yeah.
You know, making sure that the staff have all got their contracts and their pay and things like we're doing all that in the background, doing all the ordering, seeing the reps and things like that. We don't do an awful lot of work because I think we've got the right staff, and it's taken time, but we now have the right staff, and they're all on our page, and I think that's the thing. You know, we don't need to be here.
And what about plans for the future? Have you got plans for any more pubs?
I don't know.
Cafes?
We always joke and go, well, that could be the next one.
Yeah. That's what I wondered. Yeah, exactly what I wondered.
I don't know. I think we'll concentrate definitely on these two at the moment and developing the business that side. As I say, we've got so much sport on here at the moment. We're just trying to put out there what we are doing. This evening, this terrace is fully booked already.
And is that for food?
Food and drink.
And drink,
to watch the football.
Of course. Oh, yes, of course. It's France versus Spain.
Yeah,
yes,
France, Spain tonight, England, Netherlands tomorrow.
Yes.
So we've got the screen on the terrace, we've got a 100-inch screen inside, and we shut the doors and put the aircon on so people are comfortable inside too. But it's things like that. We're trying to push that side of things. The menus we're going to have another look at again at the end of the summer, coming into the autumn months. Last year I did a festive menu just for December and up to the 8th of January. It's just, trial and error really. We just have a go and see what works. Up at the cafe bar, we're just about to start darts tournaments. We've been approached by a really good darts player who said he wants to start running some friendly tournaments. He's got quite a nice group of people that he knows that want to do that. So they're in charge. We've just set it all up for them. We're going to have some tapas nights, buy a bottle of wine, have some tapas, get a singer in. Things like that. It's just sort of seeing what works, what doesn't. I mean, we're Welsh, so on St. David's Day we did have a little bit of a bash and put the flags out. We don't do it very often because we like to be international. But we've got quite a few Welsh friends who all came along, and we had Rockin' Stephanie here, who loves doing Shaky Stevens and Tom Jones. So I really pushed that and said, you have to come and do Shaky. So it was, little things like that we do as well. But we cater for parties, birthdays. We've got a few birthdays lined up for the summer. So it's the things that, what's working and leave behind what hasn't worked so well. But that's what we're focusing on now. If something comes up, and we say, well, we might, have a stab at something else. But
there's no point in continuing to do something if it's not working.
Exactly.
Waste of time, waste of money, waste of effort. So you have to move on to the next, something else that might work.
What we really enjoyed, though, with both places is they were blank canvases. This pub was empty for probably about 18 months before we took it on. So we built it up from nothing because there was nothing here. Where the cafe bar is, it was a restaurant, but it was very low-key, only a few hours a day, whereas we've opened it up and now getting very busy for breakfasts. We've now gone on the Glover app, so you can get home deliveries. So that's starting to build up as well. But as I say, it's only been open 2 months, so we're trying to just get that out there. It's trial and error. It's just developing what we're doing. trying to advertise, making sure that we get the right advertising. We're on the radio, we're on White Coast FM, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah,
You know,
all,
we just
all the normal
yeah,
places.
all the normal channels.
Yeah.
But it is just trying to get the best of it out there.
Yeah.
You know, it takes time, but it's finding the people to do it for you as well.
You seem very relaxed. You seem very calm. You seem very, as Helen
it's the
said,
swan.
chilled.
It's the swan. It's the gliding on the surface and the legs going like mad underneath.
No, but that's exactly. Don't you think that the same?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you look like a real chilled lady. You
We
know.
try. Well,
it feels
both.
like you've been doing this for years,
Yeah,
and not just
I-
in the
but I
length of
think
time
it's-
you've
I
started.
think, like, as I said, it doesn't matter what business, as long as you've got the business mentality and the business frame of mind. It doesn't matter the business. You can do absolutely anything as long as you use what knowledge you have to the best of your ability.
and be prepared to put the work in.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the most important thing as well.
So, one last question,
Okay.
because we've been going on for 21 minutes now, and it's been lovely and it's been easy.
Yeah.
Just a piece of advice for anyone that wants to come and do what you're doing, because I know there will be loads out there that want to do the same.
Yeah.
So, what's the best advice you could give?
A few little things, I suppose. Make sure that you are financially comfortable to be able to go into a business and not depend on income from the business, especially initially the first 2-3 years. That's probably one of the biggest stresses within the business. If you have that, that can then escalate into lots and lots of other issues. But yeah, definitely make sure that you're financially comfortable to be able to do it. And as we said before, make sure you get the right advice from the right people.
Yeah.
You know, don't speak to the person down the pub and sort of say, you know, well, where did you go? Do a bit of shopping around, have a look at reviews on lawyers and solicitors and accountants, really sort of do some homework.
Yeah.
And even go to, like, we were very lucky, the agent who actually brought us to the pub helps us still. You know, we can contact him and he will help us with any issues we've got or any questions. And use experienced staff. Our staff are an absolute godsend because they've all worked locally. The one chap he's now left, he helped us out for 6 months, but he's owned 2 bars in Albir, and we would say, oh, we need such and such, and he'd be straight on the phone, and the person would be here in half an hour. It was all about making sure you had the right people around you, definitely. And the staff we have now, I hope that we will have for a long time to come.
It's all about the staff, isn't it? Good
It is,
staff.
and you have to look after them.
Yeah. A lot of people don't, though, do they?
No. We've got so many that have come to us and said, oh, we never got paid, or, you know, they took advantage of hours and things like that, and they maybe didn't get a contract. And so, you know, you really do have to look after the staff.
Yeah.
You really do.
Good advice.
Yeah,
good
well,
advice.
Very good.
You know. Thank you so much, Ali,
No problem.
for taking your time out of your busy schedule.
No problem. I'm now off to the beach for a few hours.
And,
so.
you know, we both wish you the most success in the
Thank
world
you
that
very
you can
much.
have. And we're going to come back soon and have a meal, aren't we?
Yeah.
You're going to come back and have a lunch. So we'll
Hope
do that
so.
very soon.
Hope so.
Or even an all-day breakfast. That sounds
Hope
good.
so.
That sounds good. But thank you very much for your
No
time.
problem.
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you.